Okay, so it happened. Just in here this morning, the Federal Reserve officially launches a FEDNOW instant payment system. So what is this? Why is everyone chattering about it? Is it really that big of a deal? We're going to dive into all that in this video, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for stopping back by the channel. If you're new, consider subscribing. We're breaking down the cryptocurrency markets, the overall markets at large, every single day right here on the channel. Every single day. That means on my birthday, Jesus' birthday, your birthday, we're here talking about crypto, talking about macroeconomic factors that impact the market. So subscribe down below if you like the sound of that. So Federal Reserve launching the FedNow instant payment system. What does it mean? Let's dive in right now. So this was a long standing rumor that this was coming, right? So if you're wondering about what's happening to the markets too in response to this, we're going to dive into that later on in this video. But let's talk about what this is and really what it means for us as crypto investors. So the Federal Reserve officially launches their FedNow instant payment system. A lot of people thought this was coming. This is not coming out of left field. It's not some shock to many people. The government agency, though, announced the arrival of the system this morning, and as the official press release notes, it has now gone live with 35 banks. We're going to talk about some of the major banks. Well, I'll just give them to you right now. Wells Fargo, yep, JP Morgan, okay, some of the big dogs, all the big dogs. Now, the FedNow instant payment service is described by the Fed as a tool for banks to use, quote, instantly transfer money for their customers any time of day on any day of the year. Sounds great. Moreover, the system has long been discussed, finally making its debut today. The Federal Reserve has officially launched its highly discussed FedNow payment system. Indeed, a press release noted that the service has gone live at 35 different financial institutions. And again, when we look up here, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all the big dogs, okay? And major U.S. banks. There it is right there. Just in, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, BNY Mellon, all the major banks essentially getting on board with this. This is a quote. The Federal Reserve built the FedNow service to help make everyday payments over the coming years faster and more convenient, says Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Additionally, Powell noted the benefits that would come from a continued adoption of the service, stating it would enable a person to immediately receive a paycheck or a company to instantly access funds when an invoice is paid. Which, again, this technology is here. It's called blockchain, instant and verifiable transactions. It's essentially what's happening here, right? But through the traditional banking system, you had to wait. I remember, guys, when I bought my first real, decent car, that was one of the, cool things I've ever bought. That's probably the only cool thing I ever bought. I bought it in cash, and I had to make payments for over a week. I couldn't instantly just send the funds and be done. Right, it had to go through the traditional banking system. I could only wire this amount, and it had to be approved, and then I had to wait over the weekend. The banks aren't there on the weekend. So the FedNow payment system eliminates that problem. But there's more. The U.S. Department of the Treasury Bureau of the Fiscal Service is also adopting the service. Now, the press release states that 16 service providers are ready to support payment processing for banks and credit unions. The idea of instant payment presents clear benefits across a lot of financial and business sectors. Consequently, the Federal Reserve has announced a new system to operate alongside its other payment services. Ultimately, it notes that it is committed to working alongside over 9,000 banks eventually and credit unions in the United States, specifically in order to promote the service's widespread availability. In other words, they want this to go in every single bank, every single credit union, no doubt about it. Now, the Fed has been developing the tech for some time, even though the tech should have been here by now. I think they were developing it to fit their needs, maybe, right? Subsequently, some controversy arose over what it could mean for the eventual arrival of, yes, this is where the wrench is thrown in, a central bank digital currency. It certainly paves the way for that. But here's the thing. I think CBDCs are inevitable as well. As many people want to push back on this idea and talk about how terrible this could be, I understand all those arguments. I always come back to these points and say, well, what the heck are you going to do about it anyway, right? Rather than sit there and basically, fight it, I think you have to learn to live with it, right? And maybe you disagree. Let me know if you disagree. I mean, it's just that's kind of my take on this. I think CBDCs are coming no matter what. And really the question is, how does crypto coexist with it? Because I think it will. I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the major altcoins will. Eventually, this market's going to consolidate. The cryptocurrency market will consolidate into the top dogs, like every single thing else, every single other sector has. Everything eventually consolidates. Look at media, consolidates. Look at, Walmart's competitors. It's consolidated to Walmart, Amazon. They've just swallowed up their competitors. Either bottom out, the companies went belly up. Same thing will happen in crypto eventually, right? I think we have a lot of time for that, still to play out. However, it's going to be interesting to see how quickly this could lead to a CBDC. Now, you have people in power trying to push back on CBDCs. Ron DeSantis is one of those people. We'll see, right? I do think people are going to push back on the idea, but eventually some type of digital dollar, some type of digital currency just makes sense, right? Whether we like it or not. It's like, I hear a lot of the arguments, right? It's like a lot of these people will argue like, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. But like they also, on the other side of their mouth, they love crypto and they love that everything's going digital and they're not, upset about that. And they're not like pushing back on that idea. Like everything's going digital. Like, why don't you think the digital dollar's coming? Obviously it is, right? But what does it look like? How do we make sure that, they're not completely taking advantage of us like many people think? It's going to be interesting to watch it all play out. But this is a big day. The FedNow service goes live. Time will tell. And instant payments 24/7 sounds good for people getting their paychecks, right? Sounds good for sending money across, but we already had that tech. It's called crypto. It's called blockchain. But we'll see, right? We'll see what this leads to. Appreciate you guys so much. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this down below. I don't have a strong opinion yet on this. I'm kind of somewhere in between. I want to see kind of how this plays out a little bit from here, and we'll be covering this, of course, in the weeks and months to come. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below, and check out Grape. They are a sponsor right now. I guess basically I'm working with them. They're in pre-sale right now. A lot of great things happening. A new Layer 1 blockchain getting ready to launch. So if you're interested, check out all the links down below. See ya.